Welcome to Buckman's Model Mania. Today we're going to be working on the Moomin house, stage 22 from DeAgostini, and loving the way it is going along. We're going to be working on the couch. Got some extra fabric here and the parts. Plus we've got the pull-out basement. Been a little while since I did a video on this, so bear with me if I repeat things that I've said on previous videos. Let me go ahead and get the magazine open. And so we have actually two parts to this build. We have the home building, and then we have the furniture. We have the top rail here. This should go in here like this. Fabric for the couch, just some paper in here. More parts for the couch. Two supports. Let's see, this looks like, it says front legs, rear legs, front panel, two more front panels. This is definitely going to be for the couch. This is going to be done off screen and take a little while. Might do it since it is Sunday, I might do these cushions on the stream, because I've also got to paint this once it's done. And once I paint it, I've got to let it dry. Let's see, decorative strip. And this is actually going to, I believe, is there only one? Armrest cushions. Looking. Front legs. Cushion for the seat, backrest. 2 times. Oh, there we go. Armrest. I'll have to see how that goes. Probably wraps around like that, but we'll have to see. I could only see one of these. So quite a few parts. A lot of this is going to be done off the video. It'll be done probably on Sunday's live stream today, 10th of December. If you want to go over there and take a look on the HTM live stream. Of course, it'll be after the fact because this video won't be out for several days, but you'll be able to come back and take a look. Okay, so if I remember right, same colors is mixed in 21, but that is not mixed paint. That should be the walnut stain. Let me get these parts stained first before I do anything else. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stain these parts first. Then I'm going to, while they're drying, I'm going to go ahead and work on the couch. Then I'll come back and assemble these parts. But for right now, I need to pause while I get stuff set up so I can do some stain. I will be right back. Okay, so got some wax paper here. Go ahead and move the room itself out of the way. Pop open the stain using the back side of a scalpel so I can cut myself really well if I'm not careful. And I'm doing the one glove thing just because I don't need both gloves. So I'm just looking. It's kind of interesting because these pieces, they don't have stain on the back. I'm going to stain both sides. I'm going to stain everything. Just looking at how these are going to go on here. So these are going to go on like that and then support those rails. So let's get staining. First thing I'm going to do is, actually I meant to start with this piece. And I just flicked the brush. That's always got to be careful with the sponge brushes. I didn't mean to flick it. I'm going to set a paper towel over top of those parts, just kind of trying to avoid getting a stain on those. So, and with stain, a little goes a long way, as you can see. Stay. Brush is bound and determined to mess something up today. And I'm just doing a light dab to get the excess stain off. Put this back over top of that. See if I still have enough on the brush, and I do. I like these sponge brushes because they do absorb a lot. They don't leave any brush marks behind. Let me go ahead and get all three of these. And they, like I said, they work really well. What I need to remember is not to touch anything with this glove now because it's covered with stain, and it will put stain on whatever I touch it with. So stain that up, and you can see I'm finally running out of stain after the third piece. Let me squeeze a little bit of this out. Actually, I have washed these out before. This one has come to the end of its useful life because, let's see if I can get it to focus, it's starting to lose fibers. Set that in there again. Wipe this off. Trying not to grab it with my hand and get stain all over my hand. So those three pieces are stained. Looks like I might have a little bit more on that one. Actually, it looks good. Get the stain on these last two pieces, and then we'll go over and work on the couch instead while these finish drying up. There's that one. And I'm not worried too much about the parts that are going down inside of something because you're not going to see them anyway. There's that one. Like I said, that is the end of that brush. Let me throw it away. Let me go ahead and get the stain closed up. Thought I got my hand there for a second. Put these up here, let them, and then they don't need to dry for a long time. I mean, stain is done as soon as you put it on. But I don't want to get too much stain on my hands while I'm doing this. Wipe up the excess stain. Throw away the glove. And so these parts are ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and move over to the couch and come back. So first thing it says to do is cut out these legs. And I will tell you, I don't like the fact that they make these, they put white paint basically on these. Not much I can do about it. So here's the couch. Get the scalpel. Matter of fact, let me slide this paper up a little bit. And this is actually excess fabric from the last year. I believe it was from the last year. So let me get these parts cut out. Matter of fact, while I get all these parts cut out, I say all these, while I get these parts cut out, let me move this stuff over here. I'm going to go ahead and pause so that you guys aren't sitting there watching me do something that any one of you can do. I'll be right back. Okay, you can see I've got all the parts cut out now. This is the back, this is going to be the front. These are scraps, rear legs, front legs. Let's build something. So the first thing you're going to have to do, I'm just looking, okay, it says to put the rear legs on first. And I noticed something on the legs rear legs I think is pretty cool. They actually beveled it so that when it's on there correctly, oops, I'm putting it on the wrong way it's going to match up with the bevels that are already there so that it will go on there just like that. Glue the legs so they tilt backward, just making sure. Yeah, that's not going to work if I put it the other way. So let me apply a little bit of glue in here. Interestingly, didn't realize this, it is actually a hole that goes straight up into the couch. Get the right one, put it on the right side. And that goes on that way. There we go. So you can see it slots in there just like that. Make sure it's firm against there, against the side. I'm guessing you could use super glue. It will hold a lot quicker. I like using the wood glue for this simply because that way I'm using actual stuff you would use if you were making this full size. Plus I have a little bit more time to position it if needed. I'm using a very small point on my bottle to be able to do that. So I'm not dumping tons of glue in there. Get this one positioned. This is very tiny work. So there are the legs on there, both leaning tilted back. I'm going to set that on its face for a minute just to see. And it says to put the front legs on. There's glue to attach the right and then the left. And they're actually going to line up here. And that's kind of cool because it covers up the front face where we put a stick in there before. It's going to go on here like that. There's a slot cut in there that matches up perfect with that. So let me apply some glue. Oh, I didn't even notice that before. You can see a small indentation right here for it. So let me go ahead and throw some glue on there. Again, using white glue, wood glue actually, not super glue like I could. So I can get it positioned exactly where I want it. Have it stick to my finger, but not permanently bonded. Put some more glue on here. That's also part of the problem with the white cabinet type paint. It doesn't quite grab as quick. While I'm doing this, that notch, very small notch on the bottom of the couch is not grabbing as well as it should. There we go. That is not quite looking right. I'm going to go ahead and pause the camera, do this off camera, and come back. Okay, I finally got them on. This one was actually attached before. I had this one attached. I had to take it back off because it was not quite on correctly, and it's still not. It's one of these things of it. The notches are not perfect, so I need to make sure it bonds here, up here on the chair arm, on the couch arm, not down on the notch, because the notch still has a slight gap. And I think it's just the way it was designed. Make sure this is a little bit out there. So I'm going to lay it on its back, not touch those while I'm working on this. So now we've got the top of the, basically it's a Queen Anne sofa, I believe. Let me put some glue on it. Hopefully this will not be near the pane that those legs were. And hopefully I will keep from knocking those legs off later when I'm adding the cushions. But if I do, I will just have to fix it. So we got the glue on here. It's not also not helping that this glue is drying out in the tip. Lay this on here gently and then slide it into position. What I'm doing is I'm lining up all the top edges that I can find. The glue is a little bit sloppy. Stuff that is coming off the back, I need to see if I can get that cleaned up, or up here on the top. The stuff that comes out inside the cushion area, I'm not that concerned with, but I don't want this to be visible through the paint once I paint it. Make sure those edges are pretty well lined up. I do have a bit of glue here I want to get rid of. And those cushions are going to be a pain. This one here is going to not really suck out loud, but it's going to be a little bit of a pain because you can see it fits inside the cutouts. So I'm almost ready to set this aside. Last thing I got to do, let me see how they have it. Not that it matters, but I want to have the design match what they did. The design has this flower here in the center facing up. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on here. Again, the glue is drying in the tube, which the problem with that, biggest problem that causes is that it's a very small tube. And so I've got to make sure it's clean. So let me get some glue on here. Hopefully I still have the same spray paint that I used on the table and chairs. Hopefully it's still good. This is not a good thing here, because this is not fitting in there all the way. So I'm going to end up knocking these legs back off. Just like that. But had they had me put that on first, that would have made it a little bit easier. Come on, stay in place. We put the glue back, some glue in here. See if I can swing this back down on here. Just looking at stuff, making sure. That should be, let me make sure that's still good. That's good. That should be done. Just a little bit of glue here. And that's how this is going to get covered up. That cushion is going to match in there. Let's see if it does the same on the other side. A little bit. Okay. That's going to be interesting to do. Let me see. Fits snugly. You know what? It's flat on the front. But that's going to be done on the HTM live stream today. along with all the cushions will be done there, because that's going to be easiest. Still got to paint this, so let me set this aside, and I will take it out for paint. When I come back, it'll be in paint, and then we'll finish up doing this. The rest of this stage I will show on the if I remember, I'll show it on the next video. So I will be right back. Okay, as the top side of the couch painted, let me switch cameras real quick. It actually accepted paint pretty well. I need to paint the bottom. Back looks pretty good. That is a gloss paint, by the way. But once I'm done with that, later on today, I will actually paint the back side. Let me see. Let me switch cameras again. And you just can't get the I can't get the view of the pattern on the front of the couch, but it is there. Move this out of the way. Set that there. Let's move it a little bit. Actually, we're going to move it off screen because it is kicking glare back. And so we'll go back to the previous pages. Right side down. Okay. Back to the first pages. Bring these parts over, which are mostly dry except for where they were face down. Yeah, they're dry enough. They are completely dry. And so what we're going to do now that they're in place, now that they're dry, is we're going to put them in place. How it goes is one of the posts goes here. One of them goes here. They're actually very loosely set in there. Let's see. For support, insert it in the base. Secure the second support, same way. Okay. And I'm not going to glue the tab because that's just sticking down to the wood. What I'm going to do is put glue here. I put glue on the bottom of the tab. Didn't mean to. And on the side of the tab, and then I'm just going to set this in here like that, keeping in mind that this groove here, this groove has to be to the front. Do the same thing on this one. Putting glue on the bottom, not on the bottom, but on the sides of the tab, and then next to it, and putting it in there like that. And you'll see they actually have a slight slant in the back. Then you take this part here. Nope, getting ahead of myself. Let me see. So the wood grain pattern, the slats are go on the inside. I'm just looking, making sure that I fit these in the right direction. That's not going to go in there like that. That one's going to go in here like that. There is a slant, and actually it's the narrower side. There's a slant cut into there. Put the, why does this look wrong? Oh, duh, it's upside down. That one's going to go in there like that. So now that I've got these oriented the way I need them, put some glue on here. Sides of the tab again. Sides of the part. When everything dries, this will be a pretty solid actual wall for this room. Slide it down in here, trying not to get glue all over everything like I did right there. Clean that up real quick. And that little bit there. It's not that bad. It's the glue dries pretty reasonably clear, but you can also still see it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some glue on here. Do the same thing. Putting it on the tab might be overkill. That's okay. Slide this down inside of here. Trying not to get a ton of glue on this sides, but I am. Why is it? There we go. Not a ton, but some. And again, wood glue, white glue is best for this because you need to be able to position these parts for a little bit. Take the last piece, again, putting the slat cut, the laser cuts to make it look like there's slats there on the inside. Clearly glue off the tip here. A bit of glue, and I have seen people use thinned out glue and put it on with a paintbrush. I just like my little applicators. So that's on there. Put glue on there. Slide this down in the middle, hitting that slot. I put the glue on the top early, to be honest. But now that that's all in there, this part will go on, and it's just a matter of putting glue all along the wall pieces or the top of the walls. Already have glue on this piece. So this should slide on relatively easy. Should being the operative word. Once it's in place, it will solidify everything here. Come on. So this one's actually got to go a little bit back. Many moving pieces all at the same time. But with a little bit of finagling, everything goes in together like that. Let me grab some clamps just to make sure that everything stays where it should be. Especially this piece over here is sticking up. That's not good. That's going to need to go down. Let me get these clamped first, and then I'll get out some other clamps that I've got so that I can get everything where it needs to be. Because if these parts are not in the right place, they very much likely could cause an issue putting the drawer in. And see, right here, it's sticking up there, and the same on the other side. Let me pause for a second, get my other clamps, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back, and these are the other clamps. These are actual woodworking clamps that I bought because I like working with wooden models. And so pull that down. Make sure it didn't separate there. Oh. Too many clamps going on. Do the same thing on this side. Get it open a little bit further. That one's in. This one should be good. Just for giggles, these should all have set enough to where there won't be any issue. So I'm going to take 2 more of these, making sure that everything is down as much as possible. And if you're watching my other builds, such as the Chaperone, you've seen me use these clamps before. Just not when I apply them. So that's got that. Let me go ahead and put these a couple of these puppies back on, make sure those walls stay in place. Is it overkill? Probably. But this is something I'm building for my wife, so I want it to be as perfect as possible. I'm just looking. Almost looks like I can. Let me see. Okay, no, I'm just the middle panel looked a little bit funky. So let me set this down. See if the couch is dry enough. I can now bring it over, and you can still see the scroll work on there. The back looks, the front looks good. The back looks good. The sides are going to have the cushion over top of them. I believe it will go all the way down to the bottom. And so all I've got to do is paint the bottom. There's a lot of work to this part work. A lot more than most other part works. Usually, you know, some part works, you got a 5-minute stage. This is turning into more and more 20 to 30 to 45 minutes per stage that I put on video. So I'm going to leave it here. I will try and remember to bring this back, the couch back, and show it to you in later issues. With that being said, I will bring back, just because I may not have shown them before, the other chairs. The chairs, when they went together. And you got to remember the scale of these things. They are very small. I'm actually very proud of the way that I was able to get the armrests together. And then there's the dining room table. These are actually together when they're done. Flip it over, and it says right here, last stage, it says you finished assembling the sofa. Now, along with the dining table and chairs, we've added living room sofa in the same style. I have a feeling that they're going to keep adding more furniture. I may have to get more of this paint that I'm using. Remove protective tape. Yeah. And just to give you an idea, what I'm going to have to do is on this piece of blue fabric, I'll be putting double-sided tape, basically coating the whole thing with double-sided tape. So that's all for this video. 35 minutes. 35 minutes plus the intro and outro. That's going to be about 37 minutes total. So appreciate you stopping by. Hope you're enjoying this build. Like and subscribe if you do. Hit the bell icon to be notified of anytime I post new content. Come on over to Hobby Time Modelers on Facebook, YouTube, and Discord. See what we're doing. Links will be in the description. Like I said, I'll be working on the couch today on our live stream Sunday. If you want to see how that goes, that's the Sunday, December 10th Sunday live stream. And with that, I'm going to say take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Have a great day. Have a great day tomorrow. And I will see you on the next video.